Not long until the reigning champions South Africa take on New Zealand in the final of the Rugby World Cup. Both of the Southern Hemisphere powerhouses will be going for a record fourth title. James Cole has been previewing the game in Paris in the perfect location.
Yeah, not long now until South Africa and New Zealand go for a place in history by becoming the first team to win 4 Rugby World Cups. Benjamin Kayser, the former France hooker, is here. Ben, France, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, all let us down, and England by a point. But we have an amazing final to look forward to. What do you make of it? Can you call it?
Oh, very, very hard to call for sure. But look, you don't win 3 times the world champion title by being an average nation. So 2 tremendous teams, and the quarterfinals were there to prove it. That was some weekend of rugby. Both games were just tremendously intense, skillful, passionate, stressful all the way to the end. It was absolutely world-class rugby. I think the power and the experience and the confidence of the Springboks is simply untakeable at the moment, unbeatable at the moment.
Let's talk about the bomb squad, this so-called bench. 7 forwards and 1 back on the bench. That's a risk, isn't it?
It's a bit of a slap in the face for all the backs in the world, to be honest. You guys are pretty useless. Look, there's a saying in rugby that forwards will decide whether you win or lose, and backs decide by how many points. Well, it's all about winning. So it might be that the Springboks say that, or Rassie Erasmus and Nienaber decide to say that you only need to win by 1 point potentially. The reality is that it fits their team, it fits their spirit, it fits their mindset. It also fits that unity that you have within the Springboks, which is quite unbelievable. Andre Pollard starting tonight when Manny Libbok has been there, and I think the people management within that team of taking off Manny Libbok at 31st minute in the semi-final never happened before. Siya Kolisi being taken off in the quarters and the semi before the 50th minute without even showing any reaction to his face. It's all about the team. It's not about my individual performance.
New Zealand head coach Ian Foster will leave after this World Cup. About 12 months ago, everyone wanted him sacked in New Zealand. It was quite an incredible turnaround. A few other players moving on, Aaron Smith in particular. Do you think that will be a driving motivation for this All Blacks side?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's a bit of payback in the way that New Zealand, well, not payback, but a little bit of a mindset of proving a point that, you buried us way too early. Ian Foster included. You've judged the potential power of this New Zealand team by a friendly game in Twickenham when they got drenched by South Africa by 40 points. And there's an unfairness about it. The number 9 who will pick up the 9 jersey from Aaron Smith will have massive boots to fill in terms of a small man who just puts rhythm with the fastest pass in world rugby like no other. And he's really has set the standards for any other number 9 in the world who doesn't want to run around like Antoine Dupont, who just wants to put tempo off the base, and he's been outstanding at it. So you're only judged by how people want to copy you, and I think he's created a whole generation of scrum halves that will do so. It was the secret recipe of when they won in 2015, when they had so many Centurions who were passing on. But if there's one thing that New Zealand is outstanding at, is whenever you lose a Dan Carter, you're thinking you're going to wait 20 years to have a superstar. They had Boden Barrett already. When the Boden Barrett ended up playing 15, you're like, oh, well, now how are we going to do it? They got Richie Monga was there. So they always seem to have some sort of player in their pocket who is ready to go and take on the jersey and take on the legacy. So I'm not so much worried about them, basically.
Go on then, what's your prediction?
A very, very tight, intense game. I see the Springboks imposing their power, especially towards the end of the game, with the impact of the bomb squad or the replacements of the bench, with Ox Enche having the game of his life for 20 minutes. But I see a wonderful, wonderful final that truly excites me as a rugby fan. Unfortunately, with the heartbreak of not seeing any blue jerseys on that pitch, but with the respect for the quality and the adventure also of both those teams and what they had to go through.
Ben, thank you very much indeed. Not long to go now then. Both teams, as I say, going for a place in history. The forecast isn't great. There's a bit of weather around. New Zealand say that doesn't bother them. They're going to move the ball to stick to their game plan. We'll see. 9 p.m. kickoff here, 8 p.m. your time.